Is it just me, or do you struggle to find a public toilet these days? I know I do. G'day. You may have noticed recently a couple of times I've made some YouTube shorts. There's a new thing that YouTube recently introduced, more or less as beta at the moment. Is it just me, or do you struggle to find a public toilet these days? I've made a couple where the videos are vertical. Now this flies straight in the face of what I've always said for YouTube, and I still agree with, that on YouTube you should always have landscape format or that rectangular format, because most people still watch that way, I think. Personally, I watch most YouTube on the big TV, the one I did the story about recently, unboxing. But according to analytics in the YouTube studio, the vast majority of people watch YouTube videos these days on their phones and of course on their laptops. Personally, when I'm editing, I still use a PC, you know, the big tower computer and screen. That's just me with editing. I like doing that. But aside from that, I'm not going to deep dive into what Shorts is about. There's much better creators than me have made in-depth stories about that, including my mate Alan Spicer. So you can check that out for those. Now, I recently did a survey for YouTube, and I was able to glean quite clearly by their questions that I think they see other platforms like Instagram and TikTok and also Facebook that primarily use vertical videos as a threat, because a lot of the questions circled around the usage of those. So I believe YouTube is trialling this to see if it can be competition to those other platforms. I wanted to just briefly touch on why I've put up a couple, and whilst I don't mind the idea for something different, I don't think at the moment I'll be putting too many up, because I see a couple of positive and negative sides about both. Now, according to YouTube, the official stance from YouTube, if you're a creator, this will interest you more. It doesn't count towards your watch time, and apparently you can't monetize it, but the ones I've made, and other people too, well, you can. So maybe it's still getting a few bugs out. So what do I think are the positives and negatives about this? Well, first of all, yes, ideally, eventually they may have an additional tab, perhaps, on the person's channel where you can have only shorts listed, so you can go there and check those and still keep your main normal videos in a different section. It's all pretty new territory, so none of us are really sure where they're heading yet. What I really hope they don't ever do, I'm praying they never do this, is to eventually have the vertical portrait videos as the norm. Because whilst, yeah, if you're looking at one person, that's fine, but when you're looking around, I've always advocated, you know, you need the maximum view, if you follow what I mean. So I see that as a bit of a potential worry for creators anyway, and also viewers. Do you like watching vertical videos? I've made videos about this before, and I've told many people, especially new YouTubers, not to do that. You know, save that for the other platforms, but YouTube should always be landscape, rectangular. That's my opinion, and I believe a lot of people's opinions too, because also the other thing is when you go vertical, unless you have the settings right, you're actually putting out a much lower resolution video. So who wants that when you've got high definition 4K that you could use? Positives. Here's another hit and miss. Positives, especially if you're trying to grow your channel, which we all are. If people are attracted to the relatively new YouTube shorts, you may get a lot of people watch those, and then that should roll over into your last normal video, I'll call them. And they may decide to subscribe, so that's a positive. There's no guarantee that will happen, of course. There's no guarantees with YouTube or anything in life, really. And by the way, if you want to create YouTube Shorts videos, the prerequisite is you either have to have the hashtag shorts, which looks like this, hashtag shorts in the title of the video or in the description area. Personally, I'd do both, and even in the tags, it wouldn't hurt. That way somehow YouTube goes, ah, here's one of our shorts video, and they promote it. So basically, that's where we're at with that. I'm not inclined to make many of them because now every channel's dynamics are going to be different. Personally, what I find, I don't always do it, but ideally, if I leave 4 days between videos, that gives more people, regular subscribers anyway, that have clicked the bell, to find my video, get a chance to watch the video, the last one. And I think if you put videos up too soon after each other, and this will include the YouTube shorts, which are easy to do, they have to be less than a minute long apparently, then I think that could potentially stop people from seeing the video that was usually more important and you've put more time and effort into, unless they wait and watch the next video. So they may miss some of your good stuff. It's an unknown factor, but I thought I'd just bring it up to you, like, why is Steve suddenly doing some vertical videos? That's why, and you'll find a lot of channels will be experimenting with this too. So we'll see how it pans out. Like always, you just never know with YouTube where they're going to go, what direction and when, and normally you don't get much notice, if any. We know that. And you know that as a YouTube viewer, and if you're a creator, you also know that very well. Anyway, so that's where we're at with YouTube Shorts. I'll make the odd one, but I'll try and space it out a bit. Meantime, look, I'll just stick to Instagram. I put things on there. Admittedly, most of the things I put on there are in horizontal landscape format anyway, but that's just me. I'm not monetized on Instagram. I don't care about that. So yeah, things between the scenes I'll generally put on there. Okay, cheers. Enjoy my haircut, and it's pretty warm today. I think I'll jump in the pool. We're heading towards Christmas, so in Australia it's heated up quite well. 40 degrees the other day. That's centigrade, by the way, not Fahrenheit. So that's around about 105 degrees Fahrenheit. It's getting up there in warmth, isn't it? And pretty much the same in New Zealand, probably, our neighbour across the pond. Okay, see you later.